Welcome to Santaroga Surplus. This is a small update on the SKS DMR project. In this update, I'm just talking about putting a new stock, or rather refreshing a very old stock and putting it on the DMR project rifle. I removed the ATI plastic stock because it's really flimsy and the rifle just moves around far too much in it. One of the problems, of course, being that there is no bolt lug in the front to hold the receiver of the SKS. So there's nowhere to bed this stock for an SKS. I dug around through my piles and I had an ancient, really poor condition orange varnish Chinese stock, which I pulled out and stripped. First I took the metal hardware off, which was in very rough condition, soaked that in some rust remover, scrubbed it with steel wool, got in there with a brass brush, and then I boiled it after it was fully cleaned to convert any remaining rust. After that, I blued it, all the components, with a cold bluing agent called Dichropan T4, sold by Brownells. This is my favorite touch-up bluing agent for military type rifles where I'm looking for a black instead of a lustrous shiny blue. It does a very good job and matches very well with a lot of military finishes. Setting those aside, and with the stock stripped, I used the Easy Off Oven Cleaner method made famous by the Box of Truth boys. I went ahead and dried the stock and then fitted it. I sanded the forearm of the inside of the forearm of the stock so that the barrel would be free-floated forward of the receiver, and then I shortened the front of the handguard so that the handguard retainer mounted to the barrel would not have pressure applied by the stock on it. I want everything that's holding the receiver to just be receiver contact. I did a little bit of sanding and a little bit of minor repair work to make sure that there were no incipient splits that would get worse. And I had to file and carve a little bit to get the inlet on the left-hand side for the optics mount. After that, I bedded the action using my standard bedding compound. Not a whole lot to that. It's just point bedding. You know, if doing a video of that is something for the future. There's lots of videos already out there. I forward mounting lug for the receiver and the rear of the stock are the places I used bedding, and I tightened it up considerably. There's no shift, no play with the receiver in the stock. Under the forearm, I filled in the bayonet channel with JB weld, and then after it was cured, I drilled and tapped. Well, I drilled through, and I used machine screw and nuts on the inside to attach a section of rail, and that allows me to put a bipod on the forward section of the forearm. So with the bedding done and the fit all checked, I went ahead and used 3 coats of Danish oil on the stock. Danish oil requires a drying period between coats. It is not as long as using raw linseed oil, which can take a year to cure, or boiled linseed oil, which can take 2 or 3 weeks to cure. The Danish oil, you're pretty good with 24 to 48 hours, depending on heat and airflow. I used a floor heater where the stock was to act like a dehydrator to make it cure a little bit faster, so I got through the process in 4 days, doing 3 coats. And you have to do preparation work, and you have to sand or use green scrubby or steel wool or whatever in between coats to keep things smooth and right. After that, I reapplied all of the metal hardware that I had fixed up. So we have a sling mount, and we have a butt plate, and, you know, all the regular stuff. Of course, the cross bolt, which I had removed, went in first for the bedding portion of the project. One of the notes about that cross bolt is that it is the flathead screwdriver part does not turn. That is only there to orient it when you're inserting it. It's a pin nut, so you use like a little pin wrench on the right hand side of the stock that you use to remove that if you're ever stripping a stock down. With that, we got to reassembly, and it's all reassembled and ready to go to the range. I did have to modify my cheek riser attachment on the rear because it's made for a larger rifle, and some of these Chinese stocks are very small. So I got that attached, and I've got a sling on it, and everything is ready to go. We're going to go ahead and go to the range. I did not mess with the muzzle device area, the bayonet mount, or anything else yet. We're just going to see how the stock does, and let's go out to the range and check it out. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Have a good one.